All right, what's up, everybody? It's me, Charlie, back again to talk about our amazing DIY wedding planning template. I talked in the last video kind of an overview about what this template can do for you. If you hadn't had a chance to see that video, go take a look. It's a really, really great template that I created for my wedding, and I'm excited to share with folks now. I wanted to dig in today on this video in really talking about this key piece, our operational teams. This is the thing that I couldn't find in any other template that I really needed to make my own template for, particularly DIY weddings. So often you get friends and families who are really excited for you. They want to celebrate with you. They're excited to jump in and help out wherever they can. And sometimes that can create more stress for both you and them if it's not managed properly. One thing that we really wanted to avoid was folks feeling like they had to constantly be helping on the day of our wedding and then them not having a good time. So this was our solution, and I'm going to kind of dig into it here. So we created a database for our operational teams. We identified what are the key areas of work in which we actually need help, either day of or week of, where folks can really be a huge support for us. So these are some of the ones that we had. I actually had more, and we deleted some of them just for the template, so it was a little bit more streamlined for y'all to look at. We had 2 days before the wedding, we had folks help us transport stuff to the venue. Luckily, our venue let us keep stuff there. So day of, we weren't pulling anything in. We identified exactly what are the tasks needed. This lives in a different database, which is our day of logistics. We identified how many people we needed for this team to accomplish these tasks. And then we figured out who could actually lead that team, who could kind of be the point person to communicate. Sometimes it was one of us. For this one, it was actually my partner. Some of them, if it was like day of stuff to prep the venue, we were getting ready. So we couldn't bring someone else, or we couldn't be the person to lead that team. So we had to bring someone else in and say, I'm just going to give everyone your contact info. Here's the list of tasks. If you have questions, you can ask me. But this is kind of the stuff that I need you to make sure gets done. And then we were able to assign which team members were needed for each one. And so we were able to kind of check off as we went, okay, we've got 4 people here, we've got 7 people here, whatever it is. This made all the difference. This piece, both team lead and team members, connects directly to our entire guest list. You can see here. So we can identify anyone on our guest list who offered to help and say, yes, here is a thing that's going to take 45 minutes. It really needs to get done, and I would really love your help on it. I'm going to ask you to talk with, this person about how to implement it day of. It was super, super helpful, and it made all the difference. We were also able to add people to the Notion so they could see this breakdown themselves. I included really detailed information in this role summary about when folks were meeting. They already knew who their team lead was. I included on all of these pages photos in case folks didn't know who their team lead was. They can just open the page. All of them had photos. So when they get their day of, they're able to immediately identify, okay, here's the person who's going to help me, set up food and bev, or, welcome guests as they arrive, whatever it is. I mentioned our day of logistics. This is all connected in as well. And our day of logistics was actually broken out by time frame. I have a couple of different options here. We have day before, and then we did our photos before the ceremony. So we had before photos, before ceremony, in the transition from the ceremony to the reception, during the reception, and then after the reception. You can customize these however you want, but kind of breaking down this time frame was super helpful for us, because the thing that was really key to the success of the operational teams was that they had a designated time that they were on hand. So, we had a designated team that was before the ceremony welcoming guests into the event. We had a designated team who, before we even took photos, was making sure that the chairs were all lined up, that, the flowers were up at the altar, things like that. we had a designated team who at the end of the night was making sure everything got packed up. So the whole wedding, they were relaxing, they were having fun, and then at the end, after the reception was over, that's when they jumped in. So that's really how we organize our operational teams. Of course, there's always going to be like a million ways you can organize tasks at your wedding, but breaking it out into those specific time frames was really, really key for us to make sure that both us and the wonderful people in our community who offered to help us had the best time possible. We